Hey YouTube, it's another excerpt here with Janine Watkins reading to you Sonder Lives or Sonder Lives. Either way, I am reading from chapter 7 today, an excerpt from War Within Worlds, and I will be picking up from the first flash back to Cassiopeia, first telling the story of what it was like growing up in a place called Chivalry. Flash. I returned back to my nesting unit with so many questions. I know I ended up going to Spacer University with Commander, but I still do not know why Cassiopeia and Apollo never answered our calls. Who did Amelia call? Did she call Commander? Why wouldn't Arian connect with me or believe me? Oh, answers. I need answers. Maybe I can ask Commander where our guardians went. He has to know. Quickly, I lay still, trying to return to the memory of that visit. I begin to envision his sweaty uniform. Nothing. I think about his matching hat. Nothing. I try to feel that circular rug beneath me. Still nothing. Trats! How can I get back there? Click. Mitt! There's no time to lose. I look back at my entries frantically to scan the pages, sure to find the word Commander. To find his name, then I can... Oh! Magically, one face jumps into my head. Cassiopeia. She seems to be sitting on a floor. I draw nearer to her. I seem to be crawling towards her. Everything besides her face goes black. Flash. I hear a giggling. Then I am lifted up by a tiny pair of hands. I know it's Arian. He walks with me, dangling from his arms to Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia wears an attentive face that, as she reminds him, gentle with your sibling, Yanni. Suddenly the room begins to whirl, and the lights illuminate the room. Trying not to step on my tentacles, I see Arian as he assures Cassiopeia, I know, I won't hurt her, because I lave her. I lave you, Sonder, very much. His response makes Cassiopeia's face shift with delight. Ah, that's what I like to hear, acts of lave. Arian plops down with me and my tentacles splayed out as they almost reach Cassiopeia's knee. My yin shares a jovial smile with me. That's the thing about Leve, Cassiopeia explains, and everything that's part of this universal cycle. It burns brightly and unapologetically from generations to regenerations. The flowing cycle continuously repeats, altering minute and minute bits of history to make it unique for all versions of existence. The experience of Leve manifests a deep understanding of mentally committing oneself. I can admit that if you align with one's mentality and spiritual experiences of happiness through trust and affinity, I have experienced that I go beyond my own miscommunications and conditional beliefs. A few of Cassiopeia's golden curls cascade down. My instinct kicks in to reach out and touch some of the loose strands of her hair. They cascade effortlessly as she leans into me, so I can easily touch her luscious locks. As she whispers, "Be gentle, my little one." She reaches up with her right hand to demonstrate like this. Her curls and little ringlets spring back, jumping with delight. I think back now. I must have been level 2 during this memory. I look at Arian's Arthling skin suit, probably level 7 or 8, wearing a face of sadness. I draw attention to him and tell Jan. Cassiopeia uses her left hand and softly brings it to his chin. Why, whatever is the matter, my little prince? Arian, almost in tears, responds, How come my dare don't curled up? Cassiopeia moves both of her hands to the top of his crown. Yanni, your hair does not curl up, because it is wonderful in this universe that you have been gifted blonde hair that goes straight down. She tousles his head. Color of me, consistency from Apollo. You are the duality of Apollo and myself. Arian sits up proudly and then cuts into laughter as she tickles him. She looks over at me, and for my little squishy sunspot, she gets high on her knees. Can you say your sibling's name? I quickly tell Arian! His name is Arian! Now Arian has recovered. Say it loudly. They both look ready to attack me. I take a big gulp and shout, Jan! His name is Ayan! cheers burst out, and I get scooped up, and she rocks me. Yay, yay, you said it, Sunny girl. I get numerous kisses, and when I am put back down, Arion kisses my forehead. I am wildly blessed to be formed through Apollo and Cassiopeia. My clan is built on the ultimate triforce of Lave, the Lave to pursue happiness, trust, and affinity. Within this universe, Cassiopeia explains, the key in discovering Lave is to first discover your own happiness. How can you find one's happiness with another if you cannot first find happiness with oneself? Both Arion and I shake our heads with uncertainty. Cassiopeia continues, the importance of happiness was overlooked eons before. Even with guidance from Sir Reginald and Lady Andromeda that highlighted the need to take hold of our responsibility for individual happiness, it seems it was still casted in the shadow of this Lave story. Arion tells, I thought Sir Reginald was only a Lave story. Is it really also about being responsible for one's own happiness? Cassiopeia nods. It's both. How could you have one without the other? The reason that it is brilliant is it demonstrates the sacrifice Lave is willing to make to put happiness first, and ultimately, both prevail. Satisfied with this, Arion leans forward as she continues. During the war within worlds, most didn't understand this, and they were unnecessarily having lives be lost due to the misunderstanding. Most battles were justified in order to protect the lives of the laved ones, but how can you justify if life on one side thinks that they are the only way when the other side is thinking the same? Arion and I shake our heads again. We still do not have an answer. Cassiopeia concludes, justice is not the solution. Mercy is. We always suffer loss of self when we harm each other. That's why Apollo and I chose to support happiness. There is no harm in the end. If it is had, we truly pursue in our own happiness. I chime in, why? She responds, because when pursuing true happiness, you will feel it instantly when your actions hurt others. When pain is inflicted, happiness does not exist. Many prana in war feel this convicted us versus them, manipulated mentality. Then when they return to their home planet conflicted after battle, it is then that feeling will return. If they return. I cling to Cassiopeia's words as she continues. The time I speak of predates the word lave. The time when planets evaded other planets. It was an era of war within worlds, galaxies versus galaxies. It was nonsensical. And the worst was being Regins and Andromedans meant that we did not see each other. Before Lave, there was no understanding. It was constant misunderstandings with the word lava and leve. I might as well just predate myself, but it really was called the war within words. In some galaxies, it was just a pronunciation. Leve and lava were fighting words, but they were also the biggest words of loving words. That all predates even this time when we're in the Regin galaxy right now. See, Lave only happened because two starlights from these two different galaxies, Regin and Andromedas, who really wanted to understand one another. Only then did the words lava and leve alter. Arion blurts in, that was you and Apollo! I swivel to Arion and then back to a blushing Cassiopeia. It seems it is always easier to predict history once it's happened. Yes, but in this part of the story, we didn't know our roles in the universal history or for each other. And that is where we're going to go right now. We're going to go back to the day that ended the war within worlds for people who were in my world.